everybody, my name is Amy Kimberlane and I'm a registered dietitian and a diabetes educator, and I thought that I would just jump on in the moment that I was making something. So I normally have it in my refrigerator all the time, and since I didn't, I thought as I make it I'll just take you through the steps. So one of the things that, it's so interesting because I have cashews, all the different kinds of nuts as many times, as I have them available, whether it's pecans, cashews, almonds, etc. I always have those ready to go. And so what I wanted to do was make an alternative to cheese, because it's something that I have on hand and I use so that I'm not taking in as much saturated fat. Hi everybody, thanks for joining. So I'm just making something, whipping it up in the moment. I thought I'd come right on and just show you how I do it, to show you how easy it is. The only key thing that you do have to do with cashews is you do have to soak them at least for like an hour with a little bit of warm water in order to soften them up and turn them into that softer texture. And so this again is just something, tonight I have a late night, and so I'll be joining at like, I don't know, I'll be eating at noon, I might eat at 3 or 4, and then I won't eat again until 8 o'clock. And this is something that I find really helps to fill me up, but yet still give me something light after I finish my program, so that ultimately I'm still eating something. And I know sometimes people get into the questions of when I should eat and all of that. Today's video is just really quick, showing you how to make something quick, and I have the recipe on my blog. So again, I soak the cashews, and in the full recipe, it's using macadamia nuts or cashews, and this is just half the amount because I didn't have the full amount of lemons. You can see everything can be adjusted or altered. Nuts can be switched out. I use cashews. It could be macadamia nuts. It could be even almonds, and so it just really depends on your preference. But I love cashews because they can go from sweet to savory like really, really quick. So again, cashews is the main ingredient, which again, if you guys didn't know, it really can almost form into like a cheese. And I'm not here to tell you it tastes exactly like cheese, because it doesn't. But again, it does form this texture that provides something like a feeling that you're eating cheese. So I'll put it on toast. I put a few slices of tomato on top. And again, I'm getting my protein and healthy fats, which is a really key component of keeping someone fuller longer. So again, just something I thought, again, to show you how easy it is. You do need a food processor. It's kind of like one of my key items in the kitchen to have. And I don't promote any one brand, but I have the 7-cup. I have a bigger one that's a 12-cup, but you just want to be able to have enough volume in the cup in order for it to process. Some people have like the little NutriBullet things that could even work as well. So again, cashews, I'm gonna dump them in. I have a tablespoon of lemon juice, and that I'm gonna throw in. And then what I have here mixed and combined, my cashews were unsalted, so I do have just a little pinch of salt. I have some garlic powder. I chose not to use fresh garlic just because ultimately it doesn't sometimes blitz up really well in the food processor. You could use natural garlic powder, but I have garlic powder, and then I have a little nutritional yeast. The nutritional yeast really gives it kind of as well that cheesy taste. So I'm gonna mix that all up. And then if you put too many herbs in, it will turn your cheese, pretend cheese, cashew cheese, green. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in a few just to give it a little bit of flavor. I have some scallions and parsley. Actually, hey guys, thanks for joining in. Just live showing you how I make my alternative to cheese as something to have on hand and in my refrigerator at all times since I was out. So again, I'm gonna toss it all in. Any questions, let me know. But I'm just gonna blitz it up. It might get a little bit loud, but that's in the moment. Oh, the last thing I forgot, just a little bit of water. And I think too, so one of the questions sometimes I will get asked is how much water to add. It really depends on how either thin or thick in theory you want the cheese. I did just a 1/4 cup for the amount of cashews, and then I have a little bit more on standby if I need it to help kind of, again, mix it all up and process it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a little thing to push it all down. And it definitely does need a little bit more water, but I'm gonna add it slowly just because I don't wanna add too much all at once, because then it could be just too much, I mean. Lift it up. Pushing it down each time just to really get it mixed up. And again, it smells great. I wish there was smell-o-vision, right? on Instagram, but there is not. Lift it up a little bit more. And again, I do think, as I mentioned, one of the key things to make sure that you do when you're making a recipe like this with the cashews is to make sure that they're softened. And so it's just with a little bit of hot water. I had them, on hand in the water. soaking, and then I drained the extra water. So it just needs 1 or 2 more. I like to check it just to make sure that I don't have to add too much water. And it's good to go. So I'm going to take it out. Obviously with a blade, be careful. I am an accident prone person, so I got rid of that quick. But here we go. Let me put some just in the bowl that's see-through so you guys can see it. So again, I could have added a little bit more or less water if I wanted it a little thinner, but I didn't. So you guys can see it. Again, it's just a spreadable cheese, and so I'm going to use it for like a cheese type toast. I'm going to use it, sometimes what I'll do is just on crackers. Sometimes I'll eat it with an apple. You know, it just depends on what your preference is on how you are pairing it, but this is my alternative. And people ask me sometimes, why am I doing this as an alternative? I'm doing it as an alternative because of the saturated fat in cheese. Do I eat cheese? Yes, occasionally. But again, this is just another way for me to have something that seems like cheese, but is not cheese, without the saturated fat, and it comes from plants. So again, that was cashew alternative to cheese. Yeah, thanks, Jimena. It looks awesome. It tastes awesome. And as I said, I think the fun thing about cashews is they can go from sweet to savory, and I think that's the benefit of using something like this, where again, the term plant-based is out there. It's super popular right now. But again, for me, the reason why I do it is just to have something on hand that's a really healthy snack that I can pair with, that has some healthy protein and healthy fats. So again, a little bit of alternative to cheese for you guys. Thanks for joining in. I was just popping on for a quick minute as I was making it so you guys could see, and I will post as well. So take care, guys.